How to run a fast marathon. I ran a 2:24 marathon at the age of 42, only 3.5 years after I started running, and ran my first ever marathon in 2:28. And that was only 3 years after I started running. And I've distilled the main ingredients that I used down into 5 main points that helped me to run those fast marathons, and I want to share them with you. I don't like following fancy workout plans and doing fancy workouts to be able to run fast. I like simple things, and I feel like these points are just simple, but these are the foundation for running a fast marathon. So just a quick one about me. My name's Patrick Martin, and on my channel and my videos I share my tips and tricks for becoming a faster runner, getting faster quickly, and I'm hopefully aiming to run a 2:20 marathon next. I wanted to take you out on a run with me today to show you that marathon training doesn't have to be really complicated like some of the training plans show you. Running fast marathon the training can be distilled down into very simple technique principles. So let's just go and get straight into it. My first tip is run lots of mileage. There's a huge correlation in marathon running between the amount of mileage you run in training and the pace that you will run in your marathon. The more mileage you put in, the faster you'll be. You'll build up a huge aerobic base of fitness, and you'll be able to run fast times because the speed will come to you. When you've built up that aerobic base, you'll be able to run faster for longer because the fitness has gone so high. Now, most of your mileage should be easy and steady paces. Now, a lot of people ask me, what's an easy pace? What's a steady pace? An easy pace is like this right now. I'm running at an easy pace, so I can have a conversation with you and my breathing is easy. But a steady pace is more something when you're a bit faster than easy. I'm going up a hill now, so it's going to be a bit more tricky, but faster than easy, but you feel like you're getting into the same kind of running form as you would if you were running a very fast pace or your marathon pace, but you're not at that speed. You're below your marathon pace, you're above your easy pace, but you're pushing it a bit more. You're still in an aerobic level, and you're not like that, but you're pushing it a bit harder, and you can feel the speed. Now I go back down to an easy pace. This is my easy pace. It wasn't very clever that I ran a steady pace up a hill, but this is now back to my easy pace where I can have a conversation, and it feels nice and easy. And these are the paces that you should be running most of your mileage at when you're training for a marathon. Most of it should feel comfortable like this, where you're able to have a conversation, because this builds up your aerobic fitness. You're running at an aerobic level, you're using oxygen. And if you enjoy running like this, then it's absolutely fantastic. You can just if you put miles and miles in like this over time, you're going to build up that aerobic base. Personally, I do like to go steady a lot. I like to run steady paces a lot. But turning around now. But both I think are very good for building up aerobic fitness. When I say I like to run steady paces a lot, I mix. I run some steady, some easy. Running lots of mileage in your training also trains your body and your mind to be a runner. It's a strange thing, but when I had some time out from running, I came back to running. I felt like there was a bit of a disconnect between my mind and my body. It's hard to explain, but I didn't feel like the two were linked. I think when I was running, I went up to 100 miles a week on average, in my marathon training for my 2:24 marathon, and I just felt there was this amazing connection between my mind and my body. Like I was running so smoothly. Running became such a natural thing to do for me. And if you do that over the long term, over a long period of time, you become a running machine. So I like to put it, you really do become a machine. Your muscles get used to running a lot, and they allow you to run more. Your tendons get used to running a lot, and they get used to the strain and the stresses of running a lot, and your body gets used to running mileage, and so you can add more and more mileage gradually over time up to a certain level, whatever you're comfortable with. But I generally say run as much mileage as you can. Become obsessed with consistency. Consistency is a superpower in running. The more you run, the more your fitness compounds over time. The more you get out every day and run, the more your fitness compounds, and you become a better, faster runner. Over time, that consistency curve goes up and you get better and better, but you need to be consistent. You can't have a burst of running a lot and then have a stop for a while, have another little burst of running a lot and then stop. That's what I see a lot of people do. You've got to be consistent all the time. Yes, you can have breaks, don't worry about having breaks and about having recoveries, but overall you just need to be consistent most of the time. It's like a superpower. It worked incredibly well for me in my running. I valued mileage and consistency over everything else, and that's what changed the game for me in my running. Mileage and consistency, simple things. Like I said before, I like to break everything down into just simple techniques, nothing fancy, and getting out every day, running lots of mileage is the key to becoming a faster runner, running a fast marathon. Never go too hard in training. Don't overdo it in training. You don't need to push yourself to the limit in training. I know a lot of people feel like there's no pain, no gain in their running, but you're going to exhaust yourself before your race. You're going to burn out before your race. You need to peak at the right time for a race. And I always ran moderately in my training for my 2:24 marathon, for my 2:28 marathon. I always ran moderate paces because average actually works out better in the long run. It's very easy to burn out when you're running fast paces. It's very easy to injure yourself in training if you're going too hard, and if you're going too hard consistently, it's going to cause problems, and you're not going to be able to be consistent because you've gone too hard. And like I said before, the most important part of running is to be consistently putting in that mileage. And if you go too hard in your training, you're going to compromise that a lot, because you're not giving yourself the ability to be consistent and run lots of mileage, because you're getting injured from going too hard and you're getting fatigued from going too hard. I like to think that if you're consistently average in your training, then you're going to be consistently over average in your racing. So think about that. Enjoy being average in your training. The no pain, no gain attitude doesn't really work in running. You need to be consistent over time, consistently average, and you build up your fitness over time. It's a long game, so keep that in mind. Have a long-term approach to your running training. If you're running lots of mileage in your training and you're being consistent, over time you're going to build up an incredible base of running fitness. Most people train for a marathon for a 3-month training block, but imagine if you trained over a longer period of time, your aerobic fitness would improve so much. Yes, you've got a marathon, you might have a marathon in 3 months, you might have a marathon in 6 months, but you also might have a marathon in 12 months, in 18 months, in 24 months, and you're training for those marathons now is going to stand you in really, really good stead for those marathons. The long-term training approach is going to build your aerobic fitness to a high level and put you in a very strong position. When I'm training now, I'm thinking about a marathon in at least 6 months' time. And again, don't think about it too much. Just keep training. Time goes fast. You know, you'll be in the moment training today. And if you just keep that up, keep a routine going of training in 6, 12 months, 18 months, there'll be another marathon and you'll be so much fitter, so much stronger, a much better runner if you thought in the long term and you trained with a long-term approach in mind. Be well prepared for race day. And when I ran my first ever marathon, I really wasn't that prepared. I had a 5-hour drive to the marathon in Yorkshire, and I drove the day before the event, and I got a hotel room, and it was all a bit rushed. The next day, I wasn't too sure where I was going, and it took me a while to find the place, to get everything set up and get myself ready for the race, and everything was a bit rushed in the morning and it wasn't great. When I ran London, I did the complete opposite. I went up the day before again, but I went up very early, got into my hotel room, just rested for the whole day, did pretty much nothing the whole day. Knew where I was going in London for the marathon the next day. Got there with loads of time to spare, felt great, got to the starting line in a great frame of mind. So just seems pretty simple, but just plan your marathon day out or days before a bit better. If you're not one for planning, just do it, because you don't want to be standing on the start line after having panicked about getting there, with your heart rate going, feeling a bit stressed. That's the last thing you want. You need to be calm and relaxed on the start line, ready to go. Yeah, a bit of nerves, but you've done all that training and prepared so much, you don't want to under-prepare for the actual race day and do something stupid like I did. Yeah, my first marathon I still ran 2:28, but it just wasn't the best preparation, and I feel like I could have done better. Now, I really hope you got something out of these tips, because it really is simple. Encapsulated in a sentence, it really is: run more consistently, think long term, don't go too hard in your training, and be prepared. If you do all those things, you're going to run a fast marathon when it comes to it, and you're going to keep running fast marathons because you're just going to get better and better and better. So thanks so much for watching the video. If you've got any questions about my running a fast marathon in general, what I do, let me know in the comments. And also please like and subscribe to the video if you found it useful. It really helps the channel get more exposure.